A long time ago, there was a fierce and powerful dragon. He was a most clever dragon, too. He thought of himself as in his prime and ready to take on scores of knights in the kingdoms from where they came. But the truth was he had grown a little lazy. In fact, he was so lazy, he wouldn't even gather his own food. So remembering a story that he had been told about his grandfather, who was also a fierce and powerful dragon in his day, he devised a plan and set out to strike a deal with the local villagers. The ancient oak was gnarled and bent in all directions and was larger than any other tree in the forest, and it stood just outside of the village.
"Who's there? Who wakes me from my nap?"
"A good twilight to you, old man Wood. It is I, Henry, son of Henry, son of Henry."
Who are you?"
"Henry the Third."
"Oh, Henry, yes. It's been years since your family has been here. Are you here on the words of your mother?"
"Yes, it's time to strike a deal with the villagers again."
"Ha! Well, you may use the horn, Henry, but please don't wake me after I fall asleep. I'm getting old, and Henry, don't let the villagers see you."
"Thank you, great elemental. I surely will not allow them to see me, and I will observe your wishes."
"Well?"
Oh, may I begin?"
"Yes, Henry, you may begin." "I am a great, fierce, and powerful dragon. I could bury your village in ashes with just one fiery breath from my sulfur-encrusted lungs. With one scratch of my giant claw, I could topple your tallest and most sturdy of buildings. You could send me all of your food, but you could balance all that's edible that your village can gather on the tip of my smallest tooth. You could send me all of your drink, but when I am thirsty, I drink from the great ocean, and each time I sip, there are giant tidal waves all over the world. But alas, and lucky for you, I'm tired from collecting all of my brilliant and shining treasure, and even more tired from wreaking havoc on the other villages from which I have drawn my plunder. I make you this offer. Bring me only your very finest crops every evening after the moon has gone missing and is in waiting for the morning sun, and put them right here in the nook of this giant oak. Only the finest! If you make this offering to me every day, I will let your tiny village go on and will never do it any harm." How was that? "You've done well, Henry. Just like your grandfather."
With this, the giant dragon flew away and left the villagers to decide their fate. After very little discussion, they realized that they were quite lucky that the fierce dragon didn't do away with them right then. So they all agreed to do as the mighty dragon had asked. Each and every day, they brought only the finest of crops, as small as an offering as it seemed, to the great oak. As the years and seasons turned, the villagers came and went, and eventually, those that were just little children when the dragon had first appeared were now the elders of the village. They all thought it strange that none of them had ever heard from the great dragon again. "Why should we send only our very finest crops? We never taste the sweetest sugar or the tastiest of foods. We've never missed a single day offering our best to this dragon that nobody has seen since we were little children. Is the dragon still there? Maybe he's too old to fight now." That council meeting of the village elders lasted for 3 days. Each evening, the only break from the meeting hall was to help collect the crops that they needed to give to the mighty dragon. At the end of the 3 days, it was decided that they would train a hero. Well, to defeat the dragon. Oh, they rejoiced in their brilliant plan. Uh-oh. Youch! And they devised contests in order to determine which member of the village was the best qualified to fight such a formidable enemy. It was determined that the hero would bring the offering to the dragon and wait there until the beast came to retrieve it, and would then pounce on the unexpecting monster and save the village. Hooray! Well, after many contests, a hero was indeed chosen. The smithy made him the finest armor, and the Fletcher armed him with only the finest of arrows. All of the beautiful females in the village promised their hands to the hero if he could indeed defeat the beast that had cursed the village. But when the day came to finally confront the great dragon, the hero could not be found. Oh no, afraid of his fate and not knowing what he could accomplish, he chose not to fight the beast, but instead to run away. Disheartened, the village doubled their offerings to the dragon that night, afraid that they would be found out after their great hero went missing. Meanwhile, the hero had gone to the stream where he sat in despair. Oh, he was hungry and had no food. Little did he know that the mighty dragon just happened to be on his way along the same stream on that same morning. As the dragon flew by, the hero, hungry, looked up, and without thinking and only following instinct, lapped out his giant tongue and swallowed the mighty dragon whole. You mean... Yes, the dragon had fooled the villagers all along. Wow! Yes, son, he used fear. He was the smart one. I can't believe it. Well, it's true, my son. Now you get some sleep, and I'll read it to you again tomorrow. Mom? Yes, dear? Could you leave the light on? Son, please, just this once. Well, okay. Just this once. Sweet dreams.